got a returning guest, Alex Parker, GasGas CMS Callus Factory Race Team. How you doing today, buddy?
Good, man. Good. Thanks for having me back.
Not a problem. A pleasure. A pleasure. So let's get into the conversation, man. You guys had a pretty good year, man. Awesome year, actually. You
Yeah.
got second in the outdoor 450, 250. Won the WMX with the title. You got first in the Arenacross Supercross series, man. Had a killer season. How do you feel about your season?
Yeah, super pumped. A lot of work goes into it, and going into it, we didn't really know where we stacked up. It was our second year around, but really our first year as a whole team.
Mm-hmm.
And, so there's a lot of variables going into it. We didn't really know how it was going to play out, and we're just super pumped that we got the results that we did.
Yeah, you guys got killer results, man. Congratulations on that, by the way. Um, is there any changes that's going to be made going into 2023 at all?
Yeah, there's a couple of big changes,
Mm-hmm.
and then a few just minor ones yeah, some exciting changes in the future for sure.
Okay, nothing you want to discuss right now,
Well, the small ones are fine.
huh?
We've got a few different things in the few irons in the fire.
Okay.
We got a semi lined up for next year, which is going to be good. Give us a little better presence at the track.
Yes.
Help out the sponsors a little bit. Give the athletes a little better atmosphere to relax and in between motos and stuff. So excited about that. Um, Rider lineup's going to stay the same, so
Okay.
we're pretty pumped to run it back with them. We got Mitchell for 2 more years. Ev's in the last year for a 2 year deal, but we've already started discussing, where that might go after that.
Yep.
And yeah, so it's yeah, the faces will be the same. There'll be a little bit different look maybe, but
Mm-hmm.
all the riders will be there.
Okay, you just answered my next question. Now, I was curious if you guys were having any older riders leave the program, or any new riders come into the program. But everything will be the same as far as riders for 23, the same as they
Yeah,
were in 22.
23 line will be identical.
Okay. So everybody's heading back south already, man, and we know the season here just kind of wrapped up. But guys are already starting to train. When are you guys going into preparation for 23?
We'll be in Florida. We've got a spot rented there, a house and a garage, and that sort of thing, just outside of Tampa. So
Mm-hmm.
we'll base everything out of there, and then we've already got some plans for some events and stuff down there to use as sort of off season race ready practice. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so Tyler will go down before too long. Talon will be joining us down there, I'm sure, at some point during the winter. Mitchell is in California until probably the 1st of February, and then he'll meet up with us in Florida and join us. And then Ev will be coming back and forth as the weekends allow.
Okay. Now, even though you guys had a killer season, people always say they have like one weakness they would like to improve on. What would your weakness be as a team, and what would you improve?
Um, just a little bit more organization, I think. We have really good athletes, so we have top athletes, and we just need to fine tune a little bit and make sure that we can eliminate a few of the mistakes as a team, and
Mm-hmm.
be a little bit more prepared when push comes to shove, and we got to put it on the top step.
Okay. Now this question, next question is similar to the next one, but slightly different. What do you feel like your biggest mistake has been made since owning a team?
Let Mitchell run on a rear tube and not a moose.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was
Okay.
that was the worst one. That was We had red plates, and he just we talked about it in the preseason,
Mm-hmm.
and he's just so in tune with the motorcycle
Mm-hmm.
that the tube just gives him the feel that he really wants.
Mm-hmm.
And it was when we tested early on, it was a difference of quite a bit in lap time. So it was a gamble, and it obviously bit us a little bit at Riverglade, but yeah, it is what it is, and it could have happened at any time because it ended up being a broken spoke that drove up through the rim, not like a rock. And
Okay.
so it was sort of one of those things where it could have happened even in a track where you would maybe traditionally run a tube.
Mm-hmm. Well, you learn from those mistakes, man. So Mitch, like you said, he knows what he wants, what he's comfortable with. So, but what has been your most successful point as a team so far? Has it been this year?
Yeah, definitely. This year, by far, it started with Ev giving us our first championship,
Mm-hmm.
giving GasGas as well their first championship. So that was number one highlight for sure. It's always special to grab those, and then she ended up giving us a second one later in the year on both coasts,
Yeah.
and then the overall Triple Crown. Like it just, it's hard to describe what that feels like. Put in all that work and then it finally pays off. It's exciting.
Yeah, I bet it is. Now, this question is like, your pro riders are very well established, right? Do
Mhm.
you have anybody like coming up out of the amateur ranks that you groom that's kind of going to come into the ranks, or do you just mostly find your pros that are experienced that want to be that want you want to race for the team?
No, we support the amateur program as heavily as we can.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, right now, our investment is in Talon. Tyler's a young fellow. We're pretty focused on helping him and making sure that he has the tools to succeed.
Mm-hmm.
And you also have to balance. And Tyler and I talk about this quite a bit. You know, they're still just kids, right?
Yeah.
So you can't force them in one direction or the other. So it's a slippery slope. But we definitely, Talon has a lot of talent, and
Mm-hmm.
he's fast on a motorcycle, and he's the top two or three kids in the country right now. So we definitely have our eyes on him, and we make sure that he's well looked after so that we can bring him up through the ranks, because Tyler's not going to be able to race professionally forever.
Exactly. So let's just say you're mid-season 23. One of your guys gets hurt, 450, 250 rider. Do you already have somebody on the roster that you're going to bring in that you consider, or do you just not have a 250, 450 rider? What do you do in that situation?
No, we'll always have someone on the bike. I think it's important to, we hope obviously that we get through the whole season with everybody healthy and we don't have any problems. But you need to prepare for that stuff, and I
Mm-hmm.
think it's important for our sponsors to still be represented on the track, even when our main rider lineup is not available.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll definitely always have somebody on the bike, if it's at all possible. And we have pretty good relationships behind the scenes with a few privateer riders that we could certainly put on the bike. But yeah, there's definitely options.
Okay. Now, your riders have their resumes, they're pros, they've been in the game for a while, right? Do you guys outsource any other pros as far as that's got more experience than them that doesn't ride anymore that kind of helps them critique their speed and their style?
Yeah, probably our biggest asset behind the scenes would be Mitch Cook. I mean,
Yeah.
he's one of the fastest to ever do it in the country, and he's super knowledgeable about, like, the way the bike looks, and he's able to watch, and he still rides every day himself, and he's still unbelievably fast for not. We had this conversation a few weeks ago about, like, he trains every day and he rides a lot, but there's a difference between training to ride as fast as you possibly can, on the
Mm-hmm.
track, and the difference, of just staying fast and that sort of thing. So Mitch is always in really good shape, and he has a lot of tips for the other riders as far as, technique and also training off the bike. So we lean on him pretty heavily.
Okay.
Uh, yeah, so definitely he would be our number one go to.
Okay. We got to get your riders on the show, man. We got to get your riders. I'd love to get your riders on the show.
Absolutely, anytime. That's one good thing that we really appreciate about our athletes is they're always super willing to participate in anything to do with the media, that anything to support the sport, and yeah, we're pretty much an open book. Like, there's not anything that we won't tell you if we
Mm-hmm.
can. They're always excited to come on and chat about the behind the scenes stuff. So anytime you want them, just let me know.
Okay. When you gonna drop that bombshell, that other big news? I know you leaked out the trailer, but when is that? When's the big news coming?
We'll see. Probably, hopefully sometime in December, but
Mm-hmm.
more than likely January 1st.
Okay. Okay. Well, man, I just that's my 10 questions that I got for you. I usually keep about a 10 question interview, man, short and sweet. Want people wanting more, but is there anything you wanna say or get out there before we wrap this up?
No, I think that we pretty well covered. We're just happy to be still competing, and happy to come back next year and the year after that, and hopefully many more years after that. And
Mm-hmm.
we're definitely going to put some extra work in this off season now that we know where we stack up, and see if we
Yes.
can clean sweep it next year.
All right, on, right on. Sounds good to me, man. Well, I definitely appreciate your time once again, Alex. You're welcome back to the show anytime. If you guys got anything you want to release, let me know. We can put it out there. And Another thing, gosh, did I just lost my train of thought that quick? Um, oh, if when you guys get that trailer and get everything set up, let me know, man. I like to come out there when you guys are, local and stuff, and I like to blog your team and set up and kind of shadow you guys around and create
Yeah.
a little media for you guys.
Yeah, no problem at all.
Okay, sounds good, Alex, man. Well, have a good day, man, and we'll talk soon, buddy.
All right. Thanks for having me, Damon. Appreciate it.
Anytime. Peace.